Thank you. Thank you very much, PCS. Please, let's take our seats. Asanteni sana. Partners who have put this event together, Prime Cabinet Secretary and your team from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Issues, our members of the Diplomatic Corps who are here, and our Diaspora, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Hamjambo. Karibuni sana nyumbani. For those of you, I'm told some of you came straight from the airport and to this meeting. Some of you came a little earlier. Karibuni sana nyumbani. Welcome home. And I hope you will be staying back for Christmas and maybe possibly New Year. But remember to go back to work. I am delighted to join you for this important Diaspora Investment Conference, where powerful conversations shall take place touching on the core of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Before I go further, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you, and in particular, Kenyans who have traveled from far and wide, from different continents, and using different means. And again, let me repeat, Karibuni Nyumbani. I'm also quite proud to witness the culmination of the government's commitment to our diaspora. And for the sake of clear context, I shall set out our commitment in a bit of detail. In our plan, we committed to create a dedicated State Department for Diaspora Affairs whose mandate would be to improve government service delivery, establish a diaspora forum, promote greater local investment by Kenyans living abroad, facilitate through intentional measures greater access to overseas employment opportunities for Kenyans, foster the transfer of knowledge, skills, technology through strategic engagement, promoting the welfare of Kenya's diaspora, and leveraging our diaspora to enhance Kenya's international profile. We have been committed to enrich our engagement with our brothers and sisters living and working abroad beyond the asymmetrical preoccupation with remittances. At any rate, the diaspora's contribution through remittances has overtaken the performance of our major exports and are now constitute a major anchor of economic stability and driver of investments in our country. The State Department of Diaspora Affairs is the host of the first Kenyan Diaspora Investment Conference, whose agenda is dedicated to facilitating richer conversation, fostering greater understanding, and strengthening our partnership in investment promotion across various sectors of our economy. This event, therefore, eloquently testifies to the government's commitment in delivering its commitment to the diaspora. I am encouraged to note that during this conference, you are going to be engaged in robust deliberations on various dimensions of investment, from general experience to sectoral components like financial services, real estate, and strategic value chains like agriculture, manufacturing, healthcare, and of course, the new sphere of creative economy. I am glad to note further that this conference promises to facilitate rewarding engagements on such specialized investment areas as public-private partnerships, the fintech and startup ecosystems, and that the Kenya investment environment, which has now significantly upgraded its attractiveness proposition as well as aspects of social welfare and social protection relevant to both you living in the diaspora and to your families living here in Kenya. As government, and by keeping the promise of bringing diaspora issues to the center of our policy, programs, and initiatives, I am happy when I see such events that seek to engage a section of our population that was for a long time sidelined on matters of national development and national discourse. However, for the diaspora to be involved in the socio-economic development back home, they have to be secure and flourishing in their host countries. As Government of Kenya, the security and safety of all citizens is our foremost commitment and most fundamental obligation, without which every other endeavor, including the conversation we are having here about investment, would not be possible. We shall continue to engage our diaspora across the globe with the objective of providing systems and structures to protect the rights and welfare of diaspora while mainstreaming their contribution to nation building in every sector of our economy. During my first engagement with the diaspora in December 2022, I committed to decentralize, automate, and digitize as many government services as we can so that the diaspora can access them online and do not have to spend hours or even whole days traveling to get consular service. I can confirm, as indeed my PS diaspora has, that we have expanded digital provision of public services to encompass 14,000 services, government services. And it is our commitment to ensure full digitization, which has not only enhanced efficiency and integrity in the provision of government services, but also improved revenue collection. Additionally, we have rolled out the mobile consular service exercise that has now covered 22 countries and served over 9,000 Kenyans abroad at the closest points to where they live. To connect our highly skilled and innovative human capital with employment opportunities, we have developed the global labor market strategy that will facilitate Kenyans, especially young people, find work abroad. Our objective in implementing all these measures to create safe migration pathways, friendly environment to work in the diaspora, and seamless networks that facilitate, promote, and support diaspora investments back home. The theme of today's conference, Tujenge Kenya, Bridging Borders, Building Futures, is a call to action, summoning us to make our contribution to the growth and development of our nation and to build bridges across all real and imaginary barriers, obstacles, and borders that stand in the way of our progress. This event, therefore, serves as a platform to strengthen the bond between Kenya and its diaspora, to forge partnerships that transcend borders, and to build futures that are prosperous and inclusive. As a country, we are entering the phase of economic transformation where opportunities abound in every sector, and we encourage you to seize your chance and reap a rich yield. You've heard from Susan, the governor of Nakuru, about the opportunities in our counties. They will have an opportunity to engage with you, I'm told, on Friday, so that you can explore the opportunities in various parts of Kenya, the richness of our nation, the diversity of our opportunities, and look at what each and every one of you can mobilize, either yourself, individually, collectively, or even working with other partners from where you currently work, to see how we can promote our country, because you are the foremost ambassadors of Kenya, wherever you are. I recognize, appreciate, and commend the Kenyan diaspora for its role in decolonizing, democratizing, and globalizing our economy. I encourage you to leave this conference with a strong resolve to do more and earn more from the opportunities that continue to unfold as we undertake the bottom-up transformation of our economy. Let us embark on this journey to build a nation that thrives on the collective efforts of its people, both at home and abroad. We are keen to work with you to harness your networks in order to channel more investments to Kenya and create opportunities to move this country forward. I wish you, good people, all the best as you engage us. And there are many agencies of government. There are many departments of government that will be having this conversation with you. The ministry has mobilized different actors in our economy so that they can directly answer some of your questions. They can directly canvass their positions with you so that you instead will be their agents wherever you are, because Kenya is the collective project of all of us. Whatever it is that each and every one of us can do from whatever position, whatever vantage that you have, should be for the greater good of our nation. We are a great nation. I am very confident about Kenya, and I'm very confident about the future. And I promise you that Kenya is going to change. This, our country. Take it from me. 10 years from today, people will come to Kenya and they will not recognize. We will have transformed this country in a very fundamental way. And it is going to take difficult, smart decisions, and I promise you we are very well underway in making sure that we change our country. We have always, I promise you, all leaders in Kenya, they know what should be done. Everybody knows what should be done. But it never gets done. So this time around, we are going to be intentional. We are going to be deliberate, because we must do it. Yeah, we must do it. Let me give you an example. All of us, in the two main formations, we had identified housing as a very important program that will do 4 things for us. Number one, it will make sure that millions of Kenyans who live in dignity, 7 million Kenyans, good people, live in slums in your country. Informal settlements, greatest indignity, no water, no road, no electricity, no toilet, you know. We have 1,410 slums in Kenya. It's not just Kibera. You know, whenever we talk about slums, people think it is Mukuru and Kibera and a few places. 1,410 countrywide. So we need to liberate our people from the indignity of living in slums, number one. Number two, we need to get Kenyans to own a home. And for them to do that, we have to have social housing, we have to have affordable housing. We have now reduced, we now will have a unit that will cost 400,000 with a tenant purchase of 3,000 shillings a month. and finally a Kenyan will own a house. You know, we've made it look like owning a house is the privilege of the people who have means. We must make it owning a house is a right for every citizen who lives in our country. Number 3, it is our opportunity to grow jobs. In just the last 8 months, we now have 120,000 Kenyans working in our housing program. In factories that manufacture cement, factories that manufacture steel, transporters of all the construction equipment, manufacturers of construction products, engineers, architects, plumbers, technicians, electricians, including laborers. That's a whole ecosystem of people working. These are people who would otherwise be jobless today. My intention is that we are going to double these numbers by March next year. We are going to triple them by end of next year. And in 5 years, we will have 500,000 Kenyans working, and the whole country will be a bustling construction site. And much more importantly, as you all know, the amount of land fragmentation that is going on in Kenya is alarming. We have whole counties like Vihiga and Kisii that if we don't do something about it, so shortly they will become rural slums. We need to reverse land fragmentation. And housing is the tool we have to reverse fragmentation and to give us an opportunity to save the land that we have for production of food and production of other items so that we can drive our food security initiatives, but also provide settlements and housing for our people. And finally, we will stimulate the whole ecosystem of manufacturing of construction products. Recently, I was giving a check of 140 million shillings to, those fellows on Ngong Road. Those fellows there making furniture there on Ngong Road. Those fellows nowadays are entrepreneurs. Wale watu mnaona tu ni watu jua kali. Siku hizi wako noma sana. They are doing for us doors, they are doing for us windows. They are now a company for a housing plan. So this beautiful project was in the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza. The same housing project, complete with percentages of the levy, was also in the Azimio manifesto. But when it came to implementation, my friends, that is where the devil lives. Nobody wanted it implemented. Because we all want to talk about it. It is good. We go tell the people, we are going to do this, we are going to do this. When hardly people mean it. I am telling you, this time round, I am implementing it. And I am so determined because we must do it. Korea did it, Singapore did it, Malaysia did it, and that is why they are ahead of us. We know what we must do, but we cannot gather the courage to do it. But this time round, whatever it takes, we are going to implement it. We will also give you guys a chance. You don't have now to harass yourself, or you are looking for cement, I don't know, you are looking for steel, I don't know, you are looking for stones to go and build a house. Just log in to Boma Yangu. I think it is 832 was Boma Yangu. Hinga will come and brief you, my PS for housing. You will choose for yourself the house you want. It is the responsibility of the government of Kenya to deliver that house to you. Kazi yako ni kulipa tu whatever it is that you need. You don't need to know me, you don't need to know Hinga, you don't need your relative, you don't need your friends, because you know what they do in most cases. So we will save you the trouble. So this, I've just given you an example of why we must change Kenya. Yeah? And I promise you that we're going to move this country in the right direction. We will make the difficult decisions, we will make the smart decisions, because we owe no less to the people we told that this was going to happen. We are also going to save public money. We are spending billions of shillings sustaining companies. We have 350 public companies, public entities, yeah, that just take money from the budget. We are supporting them. Billions of shillings. Some of them you ask, what is this one doing? Nobody can tell you what the hell it is doing. But we are putting in 100 million, 200 million, 500 million every year. So some of those things, we are going to make a decision. And by the way, very interesting. A report was already done. A whole report saying these companies, about 150, should be removed. What they are doing can be done by the private sector. In fact, sell some of these companies to the private sector. The private sector will give us more value out of them. Yeah? Some of them divest. But the report has been here now 10 years. Because it's a very difficult decision to make. But I will make the decision. I promise you. I will make the decision and take the consequences. Because Kenya must move. Yes, if we know what the right thing is, my friends, you can never go wrong by doing the right thing. How can you go wrong by doing the right thing? So we are going to make those decisions because, and I am talking to you as members of our diaspora, because we must change Kenya. I don't want to talk about taxes because you guys, I know, you know how much you pay. Munajua. Sindio? So, and you see, sovereignty is managing our own affairs. And, but we are going to work this journey together. And by the way, the Kenyan people are very wonderful people. They can see logic, they can see sense where there is sense. When somebody tried to say we should get rid of the housing fund, many people stepped forward and said, look, for the first time, we have jobs. For the first time, we can feed our families. For the first time, we have an opportunity to own a house, an opportunity we have never had. Because the cheapest house in town was like 2-3 million. We have now brought it from 2-3 million to 500,000. That is the difference we are making. Democratizing the owning of homes. So you're going to have a great investment conference. I will be here shortly because I have another assignment, but I really wish you the very best. And I look forward to another engagement, maybe next year when we come and see how we can take this forward. Asanteni sana, my very best wishes, Merry Christmas, Happy Wonderful New Year, and I wish you well.